and talk about new signings, but to keep players is also very important. Then on Vinicius Jr, now the World Cup is over, Vinicius is on holiday, but his agents will be soon in touch with Real Madrid about his contract situation. Real Madrid want to find a solution as soon as possible. Don't forget that Vinicius has only 1 year left on his contract at Real Madrid, and so they need to find a solution as soon as possible. Real Madrid want to find a solution this summer. Real Madrid hope not to have too long talks with Vinicius and to sort the situation in short time.
Arsenal transfer news. Vinicius Jr. deadline set as Gunners beat rivals to signing. Arsenal are basking in the glory of a historic Premier League title, and their attention has now turned to defending it. Arsenal will enter the upcoming Premier League season as champions, but Mikel Arteta will want to reinforce as he bids to retain their top-flight crown. The Gunners ended an over 2-decade league title drought last season when they saw off all challengers and lifted the trophy. An impressive run to the Champions League final accompanied this. With the monkey off their back, Arsenal will now shift focus to building a squad that can repeat the feat. They've already made Piero Hincapie's move from Bayer Leverkusen permanent and strengthened their goalkeeper department by signing former Leeds United shot-stopper Ilyan Meslier on a free transfer. But they have also reportedly won the race for a highly coveted centre half, as Mirror Football takes a look at the latest transfer news from the Emirates. Defender Transfer Battle 1. According to the Daily Mail, Arsenal are all set to sign Elijah Upson from rivals Tottenham. The 18-year-old is the son of former Premier League and England star Matthew Upson. The report suggests that Upson had offers from Chelsea, Bayern Munich, Manchester City, Borussia Dortmund, and Monaco. But the Gunners appear to have secured his services. Upson made 31 appearances for Tottenham in the Under-18 Premier League and is a versatile front-footed central defender. He can operate as a wing-back or right-back. Vinicius Jr. meeting. Elsewhere, there has been a major twist in the future of Real Madrid superstar Vinicius Jr. The winger has been tentatively linked with Arsenal, but it appears he'll be staying put in the Spanish capital. Vinicius, whose Brazil side were knocked out of the World Cup by Norway in the round of 16, will meet with Real Madrid chiefs at the end of July with a deadline set, as per Spanish outlet AS, to iron out a new deal. This report claims that immediately after Brazil's exit, the club spoke with Vinicius and agreed to a meeting. It is expected that an extension will be agreed upon, with his current deal set to expire in June 2027. It is thought that his situation is no longer a concern for the Real Madrid hierarchy. At one stage, it was claimed Vinicius was unhappy at the Bernabeu, and Arsenal, who are targeting a winger this summer, were linked with a spectacular move. Martin Ødegaard's wages stunned ex-Arsenal star. I heard what you were on. Arsenal captain Martin Ødegaard's wages prompted a memorable reaction from one of his teammates. Martin Ødegaard's salary previously stunned one of his Arsenal colleagues after securing his permanent return to the Gunners in 2021. The Norway international, who is preparing to take on England in a World Cup quarter-final, had spent a period on loan at the club before finalizing his £30 million transfer from Real Madrid. The midfielder helped transform Mikel Arteta's side and proved instrumental in turning the team into title challengers. Ødegaard was appointed captain following his first full campaign with the club, taking over from Alexander Lacazette as skipper. After receiving the armband, Ødegaard delivered his most fruitful league campaign in an Arsenal shirt, netting 15 goals and providing 7 assists. He was handed a fresh, long-term deal in 2023, but Ødegaard's original wage packet had already taken former Arsenal defender Kieran Tierney by surprise. The ex-Real Madrid star was reportedly earning approximately £4 million annually after completing his permanent switch to the Emirates Stadium in 2021. This figure shocked Tierney, who was captured joking about the midfielder's pay in the all-or-nothing Arsenal docuseries. According to SpotTrack, the Arsenal skipper's wages have soared to £12.48 million annually since penning his fresh contract 3 years ago. Ødegaard delivered a priceless moment for the Gunners last season when he hoisted the Premier League trophy, bringing an end to the club's 22-year wait for a league crown. He has turned out 234 times for Arsenal, netting 42 goals and providing 46 assists. Claims that Ødegaard had reached an agreement with Galatasaray were recently dismissed, with the skipper believed to be content at Arsenal. Ødegaard's immediate priority is helping Norway defeat England to secure a World Cup semi-final berth. Ståle Solbakken side are set to compete in the quarter-finals for the first time in their nation's history after a memorable triumph over Brazil in the previous round. While Manchester City frontman Erling Haaland's strikes helped propel the side to a 2-1 victory, Norwegian captain Ødegaard also contributed significantly in the middle of the park. His outstanding display irritated Brazilian legend Neymar, who received a yellow card after committing a foul and also collided with him after scoring a consolation penalty. The former Barcelona and PSG icon subsequently tracked down the Arsenal midfielder after the final whistle, and the duo embraced. Ødegaard played down any notion of lingering animosity when questioned about the incidents. "Yes, it got a little awkward," he told TV2, "but there was a good atmosphere afterwards, so it ended well." Ødegaard will be looking to guide Norway to a historic quarter-final victory against England on Saturday. The 27-year-old has chalked up 3 assists across 4 World Cup outings. Arsenal wonderkid Max Dowman compared to Lamine Yamal ahead of Mikel Arteta audition. Arsenal wonderkid Max Dowman has been compared to Barcelona and Spain superstar Lamine Yamal. Arsenal wonderkid Max Dowman has been tipped to reach the heights of Lamine Yamal. The Gunners teenager is the youngest player ever to win the Premier League at just 16, and last season also etched his name in the record books as the youngest ever Premier League goalscorer with a stunning solo effort against Everton in January. The Hale Ender made 6 appearances for the champions last season, looking a genuine threat from the right wing whenever Mikel Arteta called upon him. He also chipped in with an assist against Leeds United in the emphatic 5-0 victory at Emirates Stadium, and there is little doubt that even greater things lie ahead for the gifted youngster. Freddie Adu, who made his bow for DC United at just 14 years of age more than 20 years ago, believes Dowman possesses all the qualities needed to make it to the very top. The former prodigy went as far as drawing a comparison between Dowman and Barcelona and Spain sensation Yamal. Speaking to Mirror Sport via Best Online Casino, Adu said, "I do see the similarity between Dowman and Yamal. When you watch games, you see players, and I see similarities with my game too, and you notice it. He's good. He's good at taking people on. He comes in and he creates chances. He's dangerous. That's the type of player you want out there. You want players like that are always dangerous, no matter where they are on the field. They constantly create a threat that puts fear in defenders. Defenders can't really go up and do what they want to do. They've got to account for him all the time. Those are the type of players you want." The former United States international added, "Dowman has got a way to go, but if he has the opportunity, I think he can become to England what Yamal is to Spain. Yamal, he's one of one right now. That kid's a really good player. The good thing about him playing in Spain and at Barcelona, they encourage it. They let him play. They don't try and take that away from him. They don't limit him. They just say, go out there and be you. And that's what takes your game to the next level." Myself, for example, I was on certain teams where that wasn't encouraged, and they want you to play a certain way, and it takes away from your game because it doesn't allow you to be you. With a number of Arsenal's first-team regulars set to return late for preseason owing to World Cup commitments, Dowman looks set to clock up considerable minutes ahead of the Premier League curtain raiser against Coventry on Friday, August 21st. Arsenal are set to return for preseason training in mid-July, with their opening friendly against Girona penciled in for August 1st. Further warm-up fixtures against Real Betis, Borussia Dortmund, and Como 1907 are lined up before the Community Shield showdown with Manchester City on August 16th. Dowman will be given the opportunity to make his mark on Arteta and the Arsenal coaching staff during these matches, and it would come as no surprise if the young teenager emerges as one of the standout performers in the build-up to the 2026/27 season. Leandro Trossard's miserable stats speak volumes after agreeing Arsenal transfer. Arsenal winger Leandro Trossard failed to leave an impression as Belgium were beaten 2-1 by Spain in the World Cup quarter-final on Friday. Fellow gunner Mikel Merino scored the winner for the European champions after goals from Fabian Ruiz and Charles de Ketelaere had them level. Spain will meet France on Tuesday for the semi-final, with a chance to play Argentina, Switzerland, England, or Norway in the World Cup final. Trossard enjoyed a fantastic tournament, scoring 2 goals and providing 2 assists for Belgium. But he was missing at the crucial moment. The winger now appears set to leave Arsenal in the coming days, after a deal worth around £17 million was agreed with Besiktas last week. Trossard, 31, had just 1 year remaining on his contract at the Emirates Stadium, and will likely call time on his Arsenal career after finally lifting the Premier League trophy. Leandro Trossard criticized by Belgian media. Against Iran, New Zealand, Senegal, and the United States, Trossard had been in superb form. The winger was having a brilliant tournament and had very much taken on the role of Belgium's main man. Against Spain, however, the 31-year-old was shut down by Marc Cucurella and the double team that the European champions deployed. Trossard would fail to create a chance or take on a shot, being dispossessed 4 times and winning just 1 of 6 duels before he was taken off on the hour mark. With the number 10 on his back, the winger has drawn some comparisons to Eden Hazard, who was capped 126 times by Belgium. His generation got slightly further at the 2018 World Cup, where they knocked out at the semi-final stage by France before Hazard scored in the playoff for 3rd place. He chose a very bad moment to play his first truly poor match of the tournament. Belgian outlet Voetbal Krant wrote of Trossard's display on Friday. Perhaps that is the real difference between the previous number 10 and him. Trossard was disappointed by substitution. As Arsenal have learned on several occasions, Trossard is a good man to have on the pitch in big moments. The winger has a knack for scoring crucial goals, including the one against West Ham in May that likely saw Arsenal over the line to win the Premier League. In that respect, Garcia's decision to substitute him on the hour mark was a questionable one, even if his impact had been limited. He struggled to make an impact in attack, and you can't really fault him for that in this match. Defensively, he was solid. He was disappointed by a substitution by Rudi Garcia at the hour mark, wrote Belgian outlet 7sur7. Declan Rice injury worries laid bare after Gary Neville and Ian Wright agree on England star. Declan Rice has been forced to play through injury and illness for Arsenal and England at the World Cup. Gary Neville and Ian Wright have expressed concern over Declan Rice after the Arsenal star didn't look right during England's World Cup quarter-final. Former Three Lions international Lee Dixon noticed how the Arsenal midfielder looked devoid of energy during the Three Lions World Cup quarter-final with Norway. Rice had to overcome a bug to be fit for selection to face Stale Solbaken's side in Miami on Saturday, while he has been nursing a persistent issue with his hamstring. The Gunners' star managed the problem in order to help them to their first Premier League title in 20 years, while he has been forced to play through pain after emerging as a star man for Thomas Tuchel. The 27-year-old was left out of the starting 11 entirely for their 2-0 win over Panama in the final match of their group stage campaign. Gary Neville questioned whether the 27-year-old was fit to begin with. He said, "I think it could be Declan Rice being substituted, because in the first half, I don't know what was up with him. He was struggling with corners, and I wondered whether he looked fit." Ian Wright added, "He has been struggling in the first half. You could tell with his set pieces, he didn't look right." Dixon felt that the problems were beginning to catch up with Rice during the first half. He said, "It's not like Declan Rice. It took him an age to get out there to take that corner. He looks energy depleted. His body language. He's hit 2 corners, a free kick. He never misses the spot. It's just missing from his game. He wandered over, we're 1-0 down. Get yourself over, take it quickly. He just looks off color, which we know he is." Rice was brought off at halftime and replaced by Eberechi Eze. England fell behind after a dominant first half hour when Andreas Schelderup's cross-come shot caught Jordan Pickford off guard. The World Cup dark horses then had a gilt-edged chance go begging when Alexander Sorloth failed to convert a counterattack when he selfishly opted to go alone, despite golden boot chasing Erling Haaland in support. They were forced to rue the passage of play when Jude Bellingham powered home the equalizer after combining with Anthony Gordon. Solbakken couldn't hide his frustration as he threw a water bottle towards his bench, clipping one of the Norwegian staff members on its way to the ground. He made the same action again when Sorloth squandered a good goal-scoring opportunity. Norway thought they'd retaken the lead just before the hour mark when Torbjorn Heggem reacted fastest from a set piece to fire into the roof of the net. However, Erling Haaland was penalized for a foul on Elliot Anderson, which meant that the goal was ruled out and the corner was ordered to be retaken. Rules implemented before a ball was kicked at the World Cup meant that IFAB gave FIFA permission to allow a VAR review if it directly leads to a goal, penalty, or disciplinary sanction.